Where is he?
Where are you? Skull Rock. Do you know it?
I literally swallowed my spit.
Great start. Off to a great start.
We're doing great, guys.
Don't die.
Don't die. That's the name of the episode. All right. Hello. This is Stacy over at the Skull Rock broadcast. I am joined by.
Hello, this is Megan. Welcome back to our Stranger Things and Pop Culture podcast. We're happy to be here today chatting with you. It's a little late for us, but we've been catching up after a long day, and we are excited to talk and to just get into our topic for today. But before we do that, how is it going, Stacy?
It's going pretty swell. This is my spring break, so Rachel is flying in tomorrow bright and early. Then Andy and Brandy are coming later this week. So lots of shenanigans planned. I'm sure me and Rachel are going to watch lots of movies and stuff. Which last time she visited, we just took lots of naps with Quinn beside us because I was like, we're running out of shit to do. Well, I am not really a great host. I'm like, I can show movies, but I remember she was like, let me put something on that will make us drift off. So we watched a lot of The Pit, which we'll talk about in a second, but she put on that spin-off of Game of Thrones, The Seven Kingdoms, which I haven't watched yet, but she was opening scene is a guy having violent diarrhea standing up against a tree. So I was like, you're lying. And of course it is. And it's graphic and actually really fucking gross. So then after that happened, we were like, that was our cue to turn in opposite directions and put our blankets over our heads and fall asleep. But as soon as we covered our heads, you knew we were both thinking about the diarrhea. So we were just giggling like kids at camp, and we're like, why did we think this was the right thing to drift off to? The soothing sounds of diarrhea, and we're like so probably a lot of that
probably had the opposite effect actually to making you sleepy.
It's literally like that meme that's me trying to sleep my first night in jail and there's a riot and it's guys, stop, we're trying to sleep.
So speaking of that show, I watched Game of Thrones and I loved Game of Thrones. I mean, I didn't like the ending, but I've also read all of the books. I have not watched the
House of the Dragon,
but
I watched the first season.
I want to watch this new show. My brother and his girlfriend said it's really good. They liked it, but I have read the book that it's based on.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 short stories, and I actually listened to the
in
audiobook.
History? Is this
it's
100 years before Game of Thrones?
Something, because it's Daenerys' grandfather is a little kid.
Okay.
I think.
Because when House of the Dragon happened, first of all, it was right after I watched it all and caught up over the pandemic. Right away, I'm like, sorry, yeah. I'm going to get the Targaryen siblings tattooed on me. Who does that?
Wait.
Literally, I have the one who has the a crown for a king, Viserys, and then I have Daenerys. Did you not know this about me?
I did not know that you had that tattoo. You have you have Daenerys on you?
I have the mother of the dragons.
With her older brother?
Yeah, the creepy brother,
I
Daenerys.
hate that guy.
Yeah, but that death man, Khal Drogo, I was like, oh, yeah, my moon, my stars. But I remember when Alexis, my sister, tried to get me into it, I was like, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be my new hyperfixation. I'm going to have to get a tattoo. Cue the tattoo.
Yeah.
So my friend Brandon, has read all the books and tried to give me Fire and Blood, which is as big as a fucking encyclopedia.
Fire and Blood is basically a textbook.
See, that's what I didn't even give it a chance. It literally just
my dad read it and he liked it, but I tried to pick it up and I was like, I feel like I'm reading a history book.
Thank you. Literally, I left it in the bathroom hoping it would inspire me and get read eventually. Nope, it just did not happen. And I am obsessed with that lineage. And I remember when they started making House of the Dragon, I was like, I'll just watch the show and lie about the book. Brandon knew. And I watched the first season and I remember some baby's born. I go, oh, this must be, the king, Daenerys' dad. And literally Melissa goes, this is 500 years before those events take place, Stacey. Do you realize how much family history is in this? And I'm like, what? And I liked it, but I didn't love it. And like something about HBO, which this will transcend to our next show, something about traumatic fucking births. That show should have been called You're Fucked If You Need to Have a Baby. Because I think there were 3 or 4 graphic fucking horror. The moral of the story is dragons kill and so don't babies, apparently.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I would show up to work the next day and look at Lauren and go, holy shit. And she goes, oh my God, I know. So I heard that this story is a little more lighthearted and not as dark.
Yes. It's very and if you want, you should read the books. I think that you could. I never can watch something after or read something after I've already watched it, but like some people can. But if you're into it, I would say read the book first because it's short and it's an easy read because it's just like 3 short stories. So and they're good, and I probably wouldn't reread it, but I want to watch the show because it's been a long time ago since I've read it, so like it'll be fresh and like
there might be some zany surprises.
Yeah, I won't remember anything anyway, so it'll be great. But
that
I
made
want to read
dragons
that.
cool again. I feel like people were sleeping on dragons for a while, like Pete's Magic Dragon or whatever, the Puff the Magic Dragon.
I don't think there's any dragons in this show.
What? Because wasn't that the whole thing? They had been extinct for so long.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I
but
mean,
speaking of other shows
and other shows with traumatic graphic births,
and we can't really I don't want to spoil it because
Megan,
we're not spoiling it.
We're not spoiling, but let's just say there is yet another birth because remember season 1. And I am amazed by the effects team, but it was just, I don't know, something about babies and childbirth in general. Like, I know you watch Call the Midwife and shit. I feel like, God bless these doctors, because they have to face shit like this.
Yeah.
And just, it made me, like, my palms sweat as a woman. I literally was like, I am not doing well during this scene. I need to look down.
One of the most uncomfortable things I've ever watched, for sure. Like, I was like, feeling like my whole body was like reacting to it, like it was like a whole like I don't want to be seeing this, like what is gonna happen, like this is so awful.
Isn't a spoiler, but like versus a natural birth, it's a cesarean. And I remember I would like tell my mom like, oh, you had C-sections with me and Lex, like that probably is the way to go. And I remember my mom going, not really, because the like recovery is 10 times worse because they're cutting all muscle and tissue, especially in the 80s when they did it the old way.
It's way more traumatic for the body, like,
and
but
that's
it's
why
like
they
basically
always try
a life-saving measure because if they're only using it in situations where you would pretty much not survive if you had.
They said that because I guess Alexis, like the cord was wrapped around her. So then with baby number 2, the real prize, they were like, oh, it's already there. That's what they typically do.
Yeah.
But my mom said like, yeah, she didn't feel anything. She felt cold, which I remember my dad being like, I used to hunt, so it was no big deal. I'm like, nice, Dad. And then my mom said when she got home, she could like barely move. And she goes, I remember sneezing and looking at my grandmother like, did I just blow my guts out? And like, it's that intense.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when I got my gallbladder out, this was by the laser. So it's like this little incision, less than probably a centimeter. I'm trying to go up because I lived on the 3rd floor of my apartment back in college. I remember looking at my friend going, I'm not going to make it. I live here now. I live on the stairs. Like, I was the biggest pussy. Like, literally, I was like, I can't sit up. I can't reach the remote. So, like, VH1's playing the David Cassidy story. They're really bad made-for-TV movie. And I remember, like, my other friend came in. He was like, are you okay? And I went, just let me die. I was like the king from the first season of Game of Thrones. Give me something for the pain and let me die. That would be me.
I had my appendix out on a Wednesday and was determined that I was going away that weekend with my girlfriends, and
oh my God.
I mean I was kind of miserable, but like I literally went away. We walked around Frederick and we went to a brewery and we went out to lunch. Like,
are you shitting me? Guys, I didn't leave my apartment. I like told all my professors. I was like, you're going to just have to do what you have to do. I'm not leaving my apartment. Like, I can't physically do those stairs. I think I was a recluse for like 2 weeks. And I remember my first shower after the hospital, because I was like, I'm the smelly kid. I literally thought I was going to die. And I wasn't facing the water, but literally I was like, no, this is it. They're going to find my body in the shower, bare ass naked, because the little bitty incision. And I'm like, I don't know how women do it. Like, women are rock stars, but yeah, it was a great episode, and somebody made up a really good point. They were like, how it's fun to make all these guesses and stuff. They were like, this isn't Grey's Anatomy. There's not going to be like, a plane crash or, somebody's, there's a bomb going off. They were like, this is very realistic. And what I like about the show is they show the burnout and the mental health side of things with healthcare workers. And it really pulled on the heartstrings.
Yeah. I talked to a friend about it, and she was like, well, I didn't like the ending because we don't know what Robbie decides. And like, I don't want to speak for anybody, but like, I think that like in that situation, there's not like, you're not going to have some grand realization that you're not going to do that. Like, and I'm trying to like dance around it.
Look at her trying not to spoil. I love you.
But it's like, that's not realistic.
And
it's
that's
not
the thing.
a
That's
black
real
and white
life
thing.
Yeah.
Like, and
you're
and
hoping for the best, but you never know, and I like that it's, kind of left to the audience. Obviously it kind of renewed up for 1,000 more seasons.
Right.
And I hope we get to see this character.
Is we're only seeing a day of their
one
life.
Day. It's like 24. Like, you're only seeing a glimpse of it. So much has happened since then.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to see how much further in time.
Yep. How much time they do between the seasons. Like for when they come back for season 3, because like it's really it's like Grey's Anatomy is very soap opera-y, and you're not
sure is.
You're like tracking these relationships over time and all of this drama, and this is just like a snapshot of one day of those people's lives, and then we're not going to see them again until it's months later, and it's going to be completely different like storyline, but it's so realistic, and it's so
I really like that they
like the
they
stuff
show the
that
nitty gritty and the uncomfortable conversations and stuff that are kind of taboo to talk about. But I know, like, without spoiling, you and I talked about how 2 characters that are friends, they have this talk, and it's kind of important. And like you said, there isn't a big aha moment, but it's just in their own way kind of moving. And I always think of this story that, I don't know if I've ever said this before, but my mom told me a story that back when she first married my dad in the 70s, I guess they had a friend who was like a poor God help us, like couldn't hold a stable job. Girlfriends are constantly dumping him, like worst luck in the world. And we'll say his name is like Frank. Well, I guess Frank called up one night and his girlfriend left him again, and bills were piling up, and he was like, that's it. This is it. I'm done. So my mom is like, oh my God, like, should we call someone? So my dad, like, he was kind of like, not the most compassionate man. And he went, let's take a ride over there. So they drive over and they go to his house, and literally he's laying on a bench and he has his gas stove on and trying to fill the house up with gas.
Why are we laughing at this?
I know. I literally, every time I tell this story, I laugh, but it does have a good payoff. So he's just laying there trying to fill the house with gas. My mom's like so nervous, and literally he's like, that's it, Raj, I'm done. I want to end it. And my dad, because this was the kind of man he was, he squats down and looks at his friend and goes, Frank, this house is such a shit shack. There's so many holes in the wall. It'd be 15 years until you fucking filled it with gas. And somehow, my mom's horrified in the background. Somehow that was the perfect thing to say because it broke the tension, and Frank laughed. And he goes, okay, I guess you're right. And I'm like, imagine you're at literally your fucking lowest, and Roger still is squatting down going like, well, you know what? Your house sucks too. So I feel like I'd be kind of that kind of person. I would think I'm saying something really helpful and insightful, but really I'm just being horrifically inappropriate.
No, but you know what? I think the biggest thing was that your parents went. Like that was that in and of itself.
And that's the thing, listening, like, you could be like, Frank said it again, at least they did that because that was the right thing to do, and that's what he needed.
Right, and he needed them to show up for him, like,
yeah,
and
with the
and
pit,
they did.
Robbie was, and a lot of people were like, oh, he kept like just, saying it, and you and I said last episode, does he really want to do this? Because he keeps saying it and making excuses on like having to stay, and just that, older biker dude character, like that really broke my heart. But I loved kind of that's what he needed, out in the ambulance bay, as well as talking to a friend, which it might not be this life-changing, morale speech. It might just be like, listen, a lot of people are going to keep fucking dying. You might as well get paid to do it. That'd be my version. And, I really love that they're representing the healthcare workers because, man, holy shit. I know you had a busy day. You're going to be talking about it in a little bit. I just keep rewatching season 5 thinking it's going to change. Like it's going to be an illusion and I'm going to wake up from this bad dream. Hasn't happened yet. I watched a lot of Dateline and I was proud of myself. Some of them I solved myself. Take that.
Good job.
FBI. I'd be the first one dead. Have you ever seen Silence of the Lambs?
No.
Ooh.
I'm pretty afraid of it.
It's more like a psychological thriller.
I was okay.
It's good.
This is literally what my massage therapist told me about something bad is going to happen, because he was like telling me I should watch it, and I was like, "Isn't it scary?" And he's like, "Well, it's like a psychological thriller," and I was like, "That is worse to me."
That sometimes, like, have you seen Seven?
No.
Yeah, like anybody that says that Seven isn't a horror movie, it's a psychological thriller. I'm like
psychological thriller sounds terrifying. Like more so than monsters and slashers and stuff like that. Like
I know that they're going to because it's turning 35. Like, man, we're all so old. But that movie was like the first movie in decades that like were actually like kind of recognized by the Academy Awards and stuff. And it's based off a really great book. It's a great series. It made a great TV show as well.
Which this is Silence of the Lambs or
Silence
Seven?
of the Lambs.
Okay.
Seven is a great movie too. I'm gonna scare the shit out of you, girly. We'll save it. We'll save it though. Seven's. Whew. But no, for Silence of the Lambs, they did Manhunter, which is based off a 1987 movie, one of my favorites, directed by Michael Mann, and then it got remade with Edward Norton as Red Dragon, and Ralph Fiennes is in it, and you see his dick in that movie too. I remember theaters being like, it's 2002, and I'm like, oh my god, Voldemort's penis, whoa. And there's just a moment where like he eats like a priceless painting in a museum, and he just like shoves the paper in his mouth because he's obsessed with this image of a dragon, and like the security guard walks in and Ralph Fiennes like aggressively eating like 200-year-old paper, and he's trying to cram it in his mouth. Thankfully, in Manhunter, they cut that scene out. But in Red Dragon, I somehow thought it was the funniest shit. But that's the prequel, and then Silence of the Lambs happens, and then Hannibal.
But it's the prequel, but Silence of the Lambs is the original movie, right? Or no?
No. Manhunter came in 87. Silence of the Lambs was 91. But it's
all based on books?
They're all based on books by Harris, I think is the last name. But I really like Silence of the Lambs, especially because it's a female FBI agent in training played by Jodie Foster. And she's just trying to almost like do a FBI profiling with Hannibal Lecter, this famous, incarcerated serial killer who would eat his victims. And she's trying to pick his brain because there's been dozens of girls that have been found half-skinned and murdered. And that's by this serial killer that's at large. And it's really intense and stuff. I felt like they shouldn't have made Hannibal. Ridley Scott directed it, and Jodie Foster knew it was a piece of shit. She didn't come back, so Julianne Moore plays her, and it just takes you out of it, and it's too campy and shit. But then it got made into a TV series, and Mads Mikkelsen plays Hannibal Lecter, and like you would think nobody would have been able to play that part besides Anthony Hopkins. He does a great job in it.
What is the TV show called?
It's called Hannibal.
Oh,
and
okay.
it covers the events of before Manhunter all the way. And they were planning on doing a Silence of the Lambs season, but unfortunately it was airing on NBC and it was some dark shit. Like some of the stuff that they're able to air, it blows my mind. But unfortunately the plug got pulled, and just the show creator, who's a genius, like he did the ultimate fuck you ending. It's very well worth watching. Packed cast, but Hugh Darcy, I think his name is. He plays Will Graham, who the guy from NCIS with the gray hair, who's like really hot, the dad from Fear. He plays the original Will Graham. And what I liked about the TV series is he's like this gifted FBI agent who worked closely with Hannibal before being like, he turned on him and he realized, oh my God, he's a killer. And it kind of shows this weird kind of like relationship that they had. In the TV show, it shows that he has this gift, which really he's on the spectrum, and he always says, this is my design. He's able to put himself in the like killer's shoes whenever they bring him in to look at a crime scene and figure out what's this connection and what motivates these killers. Because in Manhunter, 2 families are viciously murdered, like slaughtered, but they were in different states. There was no connection. And the whole movie is just, and I'm not going to spoil it, is Will Graham trying to figure out what connects these 2 families. So very well made. I think you could handle it. Silence of the Lambs, though, I remember my mom had to show me in the middle of the day because I was like, the serial killer's name is Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever watch it, really.
Girl, and the thing is, like, he's trying to make a skin suit, so he's killing like larger ladies. And when he kidnaps his latest victim, he goes, "Are you a size 14?" And she goes, "Pardon?" And he knocks her out. Imagine that's the last thing you hear before waking up in a fucking pit in a basement. "Are you a size 14?" I'd go, "What the fuck?" And I wouldn't even be able to finish the sentence. I would lie to the news. I would be like, he said, "You're so dainty and skinny."
Where was the connection here? Like, why are we talking about Silence of the Lambs? Did you watch it this week?
Oh, I know that they're doing a re-release in theaters.
Oh,
I always think you literally live 5 minutes away, and I'm like, we should do that. And I'm like, nope. You live in the other part of New England, far, far away, where the crabs live.
That's not New England at all.
Do you know I brought that up to Jeanette? I was like, "Yeah." And she went, "You meant East Coast. You thought it was the East Coast, Stacey. That makes sense. New England doesn't." And I went, okay, I guess Miss Carmen Sandiego. Like,
Oh,
if anybody got that reference.
Well,
woo.
I had to go back to work this week.
How
so I
was
did
it?
not watch anything really other than the finale of The Pit last night. I did watch Blue Valentine on Sunday and Monday, and
I love that right away. I went, depressing, man.
I really should have put Drive on. I don't know what I was thinking. I think it was
Drive.
because like Blue Valentine was just like streaming for free, and I was like,
I mean,
didn't
that
really
usually
feel like
sells me.
renting something, and I forgot that I had already seen it before, and I have for sure already seen it before, and it's so depressing.
It's so depressing.
So I kind of ruined my mood at the beginning of the week by watching that. But
I do love Michelle Williams.
It is beautiful. Yes, I love Michelle Williams and I love Ryan Gosling. So like, and it's a beautiful movie, but it's just so sad.
It's heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with her being on Dawson's Creek, and as we know, she had a relationship and a daughter with the late Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason why she doesn't grow her hair out, people have asked, like, you always kind of wear it in a bob and shorter. She said Heath once said that he really loved that she sported that look, and that it looked really great on her. So as a way to honor him, she wears her hair short.
Aww.
So if people ask why I wear my hair short, it's because clearly
of Heath Ledger.
Huge Knight's Tale fan.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Guys, over and out.
Oh my gosh, did I ever tell you the story about my my history teacher in high school like giving me so much shit for liking that movie? Like,
rightfully so. You're like, this is historically
It's so-
accurate.
It's so fucking entertaining. Like, you can't tell me it's not entertaining.
What do you call it?
Jousting.
Wait, say it slower.
Jousting. It's the Maryland State.
Jousting.
It's the Maryland State sport.
That's an actual sport?
Let me make sure that that's true.
Let's just ride at each other at an insanely fast speed and try to poke each other with sticks. You guys are batshit crazy. I wonder what New England's is.
The Maryland State sport is jousting.
What's new? What's on Mass? It's going to be like stealing lobster traps.
We also have lacrosse as one of our state sports, and apparently walking. But jousting is the state sport since 1962.
That's fascinating. What is Mass's?
I'm going to tell you in a second. Lacrosse is the state team sport, and walking is the state exercise, according to Wikipedia.
Guys, as soon as I came to visit her last year, she was like, "You want to go for a walk?" I'm like, "No."
Apparently, it's because I'm from Maryland. Massachusetts is basketball and volleyball. Boring.
Volleyball?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're boring. We've got jousting and lacrosse. Like,
you think volleyball is boring?
Yes.
Clearly, you've never seen Top Gun.
I have not, actually.
Oh my God, Val Kilmer and Anthony Edwards. You know how I feel about fucking Tom Cruise, but those two men in their prime, all greased up like piggies.
I need to watch Top Gun, actually. I need to add it to my list. Do. Okay, so this is another very interesting conversation to start off our podcast.
Yeah, I know. We went from Signs of the Lambs to the National
and we're almost 30 minutes in.
I know, that's bad. That's bad, guys. I'm so sorry. What are we talking about today?
So I got to do something pretty cool today, and it made us, mostly Stacy, think that it would be fun to talk about different events that have happened to sort of promote or go along with Stranger Things, because I got to visit the Netflix house in Philadelphia for the first time today, and I saw the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things Tales from 85, which is the new animated series, and it was in their movie theater there at Netflix house. So it was really cool. It was a special event, and Jake, is his name Jake Connolly? Did I make that up?
I almost said a Lori, but that's wrong.
Jacob Elordi.
I even got that name wrong. That's bad.
It was not Jacob Elordi. It was Jake, who played Derek in Stranger Things season 5. He came in and like did a little introduction before the movie or the show, the episodes that we got to watch. Mm-hmm. That was just cute to have him there. And I'll talk a little bit more about the show, but I think it was just a cool event that Netflix has put on, and it got us thinking about all of the different events that have happened through the years to kind of promote the show.
So what's the first one on our list, Megan? And I'll take it away.
Okay, so because I told Stacey they had to go in chronological order, all the way back in 2018, the Halloween Horror Nights started having Stranger Things as part of their lineup. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So basically, Halloween Horror Nights, it's bi-coastal. There's one in Florida and one in California. And I've known people that have done makeup and done set dressing and props. It is an event. Like, the amount of money that goes into this budget, not just with the scare actors, but the actual haunts. They call them, houses. And usually what they are is they're themed against popular TV shows or movies that were really, popular at the time within the last year or so. And my tattoo artist, Shane, he usually goes with his girlfriend, Lacey, and they make a big trip about it. They go to the Florida one, which I've always heard is the better of the two.
Okay.
And they go to Universal, which I went to Universal once in the 90s, and I remember it was sick. Like, there's an ET ride, But this, they transformed the entire park. And people come from all over the world to attend like basically a haunted house on crack, because you have numerous houses that I guess wait in line a very long time to get into. But the cool thing about these themed haunts are they make like actual sets that are replicas from the shows and movies, and they're super realistic. The effects are amazing. You have, people dressed up as characters from these shows and movies, and there's just, it's almost like, I always think of us going on that haunted house, the Demogorgons in Jackson, Georgia, and it was 30 seconds long, but it was really cool, the amount of work they put into it. But I admitted to Megan, I was like, oh my God, I hate haunted houses. I hate people jumping out at me. And that's a big reason why I've never spent the money or made the trip out there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, is it something that you think that you would want to do, or
no.
would it not? Okay.
No.
I'm sort of in the same boat. I really don't like haunted houses. Like, it's too much for my nervous system, I think.
I would be literally like, I guess like they give them to kids and stuff that you can wear like a light up necklace so the scare actors know. Unlike Spooky World in New England, they got in trouble for, kind of pushing the limits. They know not to go up and like scare you, because you could be waiting in line to get a hot dog, and some asshole dressed as like Freddy Krueger is jumping out at you. I don't like that. Yeah. I am flight, or I'm not fight, but knowing my luck, I'd accidentally like knock out a teenager dressed as Jason Voorhees and then run screaming. Like, just have never really liked them. I respect it. I've even worked in haunted houses before. The behind the scenes thing is fascinating. But I remember Shane first brought it up when he went that year, when they finally decided to do, and what they usually do is they combine seasons, because typically the like going through the house, like you are pushed along in different groups and stuff. And Shane's like, it sucks because you kind of want to just like take it all in and look at the amount of details and, replica props and stuff, and how massive these sets are, that you're like, is this all in the same house? Like, how do they recreate the Starcourt Mall? How am I looking up at a life-size mind flare and shattered, glass ceiling?
Yeah.
He said they literally recreated the pumpkin patch with the rotting pumpkins. They did the buyer's living room with the flickering lights. They did a version of the Upside Down. But when he went the following year, they did more of season 3, which was Starcourt Mall. And he said, Stacy, it's amazing because you have these actors that look just like Billy or the kids and stuff. And they have people in these Demogorgon suits jumping out at you. And I heard just the amount of work and stuff that goes into it. I know Andy and Brandy went for season 4. They had like a life-size trailer with Chrissy getting killed, and they have sound bites playing like the scenes and stuff, like, Chrissy, wake up, and you can hear Metallica, and the actors look just like them and stuff, which I would be like, where's Steve? And you're able to be jumped out at by all this different shit. Like, you go to the Rainbow Room and stuff. It's just really, really cool. So I'm fascinated to see what they might do, which is probably a dead given this next fall haunt season. They start prepping this shit like literally around Memorial Day, maybe even earlier. They're most likely going to do a season 5 house, so I'm kind of curious what they're going to incorporate. Probably things to do with like the Big Mac with all the different like Demogorgons and stuff. I'm kind of feeling that, or the tunnels maybe. Who knows? Huh. They can recreate it, but I heard that it's really cool because they have food trucks like Scoops Ahoy, Surfer Boy Pizza, and the merchandise is really cool and like one-of-a-kind exclusives and stuff. But I heard that it is a must for any Stranger Things fan.
Yeah, if you can handle haunted houses, I guess.
Oh, you and I would not be doing well. We'd have our light-up necklaces, eating shitty Surfer Boy Pizza.
And so you said that they have Scoops Ahoy there. So speaking of Scoops Ahoy, I know that you were a big fan of the Baskin Robbins collaboration and events that they had in the summer of 2019. So tell me about that.
Megan, summer 2019 was what a time to be alive. I remember it was like one of the first summers I like really took off. I usually would work summer school and I was like, screw it, I've been saving. And that's when, you know how you said season 4 for you was what like changed your brain chemistry? That was it with season 3 with me. It was the summer Stranger Things. And I feel like their marketing and promotional deals, it was everywhere. It was like an explosion, and just it fitting with taking place on the 4th of July. They did this really cool tie-in because we were teased with the trailer that Steve was going to be working at this place called Scoops Ahoy, and it was an ice cream parlor. So the franchise Baskin Robbins, what they did was they transformed basically their ice cream parlors and their locations. It would have to be a full Baskin Robbins, not the ones that would be like half Dunkin' Donuts. And they would have like cardboard cutouts where you could like look like you're Steve. They would have posters, which I know someone who collected the posters. They are massive and they're like on vinyl sheets. They're really cool. And they would have these really, really cool looking desserts such as Eleven's Heaven, the Demogorgon Sundae, 11 Freeze, the Bayer House Lights Polar Pizza. That's the one that literally I could not find a Baskin Robbins to save my asshole that summer. So I tried to DoorDash it and they were like, miss, even with a freezer, it's 2 hours away. It will melt. I had a bit of a crash out on the phone over that. But also they had exclusive merchandise such as t-shirts, magnets, stickers, and an exclusive Funko Pop of Steve holding the USS Butterscotch that you could buy exclusively there, which I have and I love very much. And they would sell pints of the USS Butterscotch actually at selective locations as well as Target.
That's awesome. So along with that, in the summer of 2019, I did not know this, but apparently in Coney Island and Santa Monica, there were fun fair themed carnivals.
Guys, it takes a lot to get me in the car. I did not get to experience this, but I played with the idea. I was like, am I going to drive to New York? Am I? I ended up not doing it, and I kicked myself because my friend Jeanette loves Coney Island. You know, she grew up around there, and I'm like, do you remember them doing this? And she goes, no. And I'm like, I don't know if either we weren't paying attention or maybe the marketing was a little more on the DL, but they held it yet again on both opposite coasts, one Santa Monica, then one on Coney Island. And they basically would transform these carnivals with backdrops to make it look like the fun fair from season 3, where, you know, the staff would have upside down shirts and they'd be, you know, giving exclusive merchandise like sunglasses. They had the hallway of mirrors. They had places where you could do photo ops, and they also had food trucks yet again where you could get some themed treats such as Scoops Ahoy. I think everyone but me was eating fucking Scoops Ahoy. And the only time, and I know I've said this story, was when I was in Chicago visiting my friend Melissa, and she went, oh, there's Scoops Ahoy. And I'm like, Melissa, I'm getting on a plane in less than an hour. Me and a USS Butterscotch and this rumbly tummy, they will literally have to land the plane. Like, no. So, you know, I flew too close to the sun, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
You know what? A carnival, though,
I love a carnival so much.
I love the food
Cotton
from the
candy.
carnival. Oh, I love the cotton candy Alani's, girl.
They're my favorite. Apparently they're permanent now, but like I can only that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but like I can only find them at like one place around me, and I like go there all the time and like stock up. But
Brandy
I
was
like
like,
the
they
sherbet swirl.
She goes, they taste like shit, and I'm cracking them open. I always think
So
of
good.
Stranger Things with that, because Carnival, and then the cherry Slurpee.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
always think.
But also like funnel cakes are so good.
Funnel- Whenever people call them elephant ears, I'm like, where the
I've never
fuck are
heard
you
that
from?
in my life.
Yeah, watch, it's a New England thing, and I'm like, weirdos. I love fried dough. I love
Fried
sausage
Oreos.
and peppers. Oh, bitch. And then, like, you know me, I'd go on the rickety-ass fucking ride that was constructed by somebody who really shouldn't be operating the Ferris wheel, and I'd probably fucking lose my cookies.
Yeah.
But I've always been the dork that, like, likes to look at, like, I don't know, the quilts and, like, the largest pumpkin and shit. I know that's more of a fall thing, but I go for the food, and always whenever I watch that season, I'm like, you know, the fucking food was lit at Fun Fair. Way to go, Mayor Klein.
Yeah, yeah. I like a fun house too, like that Hall of Mirrors thing. Like I like fun houses. I don't like haunted houses. I
Yeah.
like fun houses. When
The
you have to
Hall of
like walk
Mirrors-
through that thing that like is spinning and stuff like
No.
that. So
Whenever I
fun.
watch Grease, like my
yeah,
palms sweat because I'm like, how are they doing this?
I love
would be
it.
like, I'd be like Hopper when literally he knows he's still being pursued and he just groans and he goes down the slide. You hear every grunt and groan. I would be like, they had a Hall of Mirrors at like our local like amusement park, and I would be like with my hand out, but I'd still like full force slam into the plexiglass. And back then I wore glasses, and I'd always be like, why are my glasses crooked? It's because I'm fucking yeeting my fucking skull right into the plexiglass, and all my friends are like, Stacey, it's not that hard. And they're all like awkwardly waiting for me, and they're like, should we get a staff member? And they can just see me clear as day in the center of the fucking Hall of Mirrors, and like sometimes the staff guy would have to come and guide me out, and they'd be like, every year, Stacey, every year. I never learn. One day we'll do a Hall of Mirrors, and you will
have you
literally
ever
leave
have
me
you ever done a
behind.
corn maze?
No, I'd die. I'd be like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining. I
You've
would
never
freeze to
done a
death.
corn maze before?
No, this doing a corn maze, I would end up being the person that'd have to like send in a helicopter to rescue me.
No, they give you like a little flag thing. You can hold up your flag if you need
that
to be
bitch would be
rescued.
going up, and I'd be the only person the entire day, even though probably children can do it, that would need rescuing.
Oh man. Okay.
I'd be like, I'm going to
So-
starve to death.
Another fun fact that I did not know was apparently in 2020, in the fall, there was a Stranger Things drive-in experience. Where did these
Man.
happen?
I know they did it at specific cities, probably the major ones like Los Angeles, New
Mhm.
York. I do have a popcorn bucket. It's behind too much shit right now, but I'll look for it later. I remember seeing it get advertised online, and back then I was such a fucking hypocrite. I was like, any way to make it buck, Netflix. Meanwhile, I'm like, I need that popcorn bucket. Like, I said the same thing with the season 4 merch. I'm like, this is getting out of control as I take the huge, popcorn tin and I put it in my cart. Like, I'm judging it, but I need to have it. And I remember like being jealous that if there was one in Boston, I couldn't go, or there wasn't one. But I remember like low key having FOMO because I was like, this looks kind of cool, because obviously due to COVID restrictions, what they did instead, which was kind of clever, they had everything that was, played out with the original actors on screen, which is, the story that's told. And instead of going from room to room to room, you would stay in your car and you would watch the movie play out on a drive-in screen. And sometimes, depending on the location, sometimes you'd go to specific locations in like a parking garage that they cleared out and stuff. And there was trivia and stuff. And they would have the actors like, see, this kind of reminds me of a haunted house, though. They would be like, somebody dressed as 11 from season 3, like throwing themselves on your fucking hood, being like, the Demogorgon's gonna get me.
I can do a drive-through or even like a haunted hayride, like where you're in. Have you never heard of
Do you ever
this?
see the meme where it goes 7-year-old on their first hayride? Is this it?
We had a good one near me, and it was like
Was
It
it?
was-
Was it a good one?
it was a haunted house and a haunted corn maze, but those two things are too much for me. But the haunted hayride I can handle because I'm like confined to this vehicle.
You're safe.
And I mean, a couple times people were like jumping up on
I don't like that.
the thing,
No.
but like at least I knew that I was not going to be like pulled out of the vehicle. Like,
See, I remember when I went to Disney as a little kid in like 93, my mom was like, we're going to go to the Haunted Mansion. I go, not again. Because she would always try to trick me to go to the haunts because she liked haunted houses.
I like the
She would-
haunted mansion too because it's like
See, because you're in a cart.
Yeah,
And that's how
yeah.
she sold me on it. This woman would literally bribe me with cotton candy or those like foam walking lizards. She'd be like, I will buy you one if you do the haunted house with me. And just 8-year-old Stacey be like, no. And I remember her selling me on it going, you're in a cart. It's a ride, Stacey. They can't touch you. And I went, that that's actually, man, they should have done all haunted houses
Yeah.
like this.
So, but
Like,
do you want to tell? Do you want me to? I don't know if you want to hear this because, like,
tell me.
it might like get into your psyche
Does
and
a
it would make it
scare
even
actor
worse.
like take over the fucking hayride and drive the tractor away?
So my friend, we went to Disney together when we were in high school, and she said her problem with haunted houses, even like the Haunted Mansion, was that her fear was that like a real serial killer or like murderer or something like that was going to go into a haunted house and like infiltrate it and actually start like killing people.
May I recommend the 1981 Toby Hooper classic, The Funhouse?
Is
Just
that what happens?
Use your imagination. Because sometimes you look at these props and they're a little too realistic and you're like, is that a real dead body?
Yeah.
Like Spooky World, they got in trouble because like they were like taking the chain off the physical chainsaw and chasing people. And you know how there's the whole like no touching shit? It was like that. It was like literally psychological warfare. They'd be like, we're gonna smother you, and they got shut down for a few years. Represent New England, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I would be the dork holding the coats while everybody else went in and got like the shit scared out of them. So I feel like a hayride's okay, but I remember in New Orleans after Fan Expo meeting Joseph Quinn, some friends of like Jeanette's were like, we're going to do a ghost, tour, which that's cool in New Orleans, but we were so mentally shot being on our feet all day. I went, unless this fucking thing is on a bus, I'm not going, guys.
I've been on a ghost tour. We did a ghost tour in Savannah, Georgia that was on like a bus you rode around. It wasn't like a walking
I like
tour.
that. Yeah, fuck walking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that's your national sport, walking. Sorry.
Apparently, it's the Maryland National Exercise or Maryland State Exercise. Maryland is not a country, so.
Yeah, it is.
So the next one is the first Stranger Things pop-up shops. It opened in 2021, the end of 2021, in New York and Los Angeles. So tell me a little bit about those.
So they started popping up, and the more they became more like the demand for them. They never opened one in Boston, which I'm like, what do you guys have against Boston? And I would literally like repeatedly write that in the comment section. I'm on a list somewhere, guys. But they would open one in Chicago, Dallas, Miami, Atlanta. There's one that's like permanently in Las Vegas. That's the one with the giant Eddie Funko. I'm like, how do I hide that under my coat? Because I would wear a coat to Vegas. A fur coat.
We were just talking about Vegas.
Yeah.
Stacy wants to go.
Dirty town. I would live like a queen. But I heard it has like immersive elements and experiences, both Vegas and the pop-up shop, where there was like realistic replicas of the sets and stuff, like the Buyer's Living Room, the Palace Arcade, Starcourt Mall, Scoops Ahoy, the Rainbow Room, the Lab, and you could take photo ops, and there were also like hidden Easter eggs as well as exclusive merch, a really good store, and they would have food and drinks available. And I wanted to go so bad, in which this will tie into the next thing we say. But I remember like a friend of mine was able to go to the pop-up store, not the experience, the pop-up store in Chicago. And they were like, let me get you a keychain. What keychain do you want? I go, do they have an Eddie one? Because everyone was mad about Eddie. And she goes, man, the guy behind the counter was, because they hadn't made them yet. He went, motherfucker, everybody wants Eddie. And there's no little Funko keychains. So she goes, what's the next best one? And I'm like, well, it would always be number one, Steve Harrington. I still have that keychain and it's family video, Steve. The little black eyes, he has seen some shit, guys, having to witness me drive over the years. They're completely peeled off.
Oh, it's in your car.
Oh, yeah, he has seen some crash outs. He has seen some close calls. He has seen me almost put diesel into my, gas tank. He's seen some shit, but I always think of that little memento, and I'm like, everyone's like, it was just kind of a store and like a cool thing to take pictures at. And I'm like, guys, I would have that would have been my natural habitat. Now, you went to a pop-up, or did you do the experience?
No, I went to the Stranger Things experience in Atlanta. So those started in 2022. And I'm not really sure exactly where they're they were, but I know that
several places.
yeah, several different cities. And I got to go to the one in Atlanta. My friend was living there at the time. And I flew down and we went, and we also visited a bunch of like filming locations on that trip too. So it was cool that it was in Atlanta. But it's like very immersive, lots of different photo ops. But you go in and like there's like you go through this whole storyline. Like you go into the rainbow room, and then there's like things, it's a mystery sort of happening, and there were like elements where
That sounds like a lot of work, man.
seeing things on screens. I mean, it was cool.
I'd be like, is this an escape room? They're like, no, idiot.
No, like you felt like you had to escape. It was like you were at the lab and you were going through different rooms. And
Is
then,
that
like,
the same thing as when Joseph Quinn, remember that summer, was interviewed by, and he was like, no, and
yeah.
that's the experience,
I think,
right?
Yeah. I think that was the one in New York, maybe, that Joseph
Cool.
Quinn was at. I don't
Mhm.
know that he went to the one in Atlanta. But it's the same thing. They would move it around. I think most recently it's been in Sydney, Australia.
They will do fucking Sydney, Australia. Shout out Sydney. But they will not do Boston. Like, literally, I'd be like, I'd spell out "come to Boston." Like, each comment was one letter. Like, guys, I definitely probably got blocked by them because it was so frustrating. And people are like, just go to the New York one, Stacey. It's really not that far. And, like, I don't know. Like, I remember Melissa and Brandon, when that, hit Chicago, they were like, they're not massive fans like us. So they're like, it's cool to take some photos. And I was like, oh my God, it looks so cool. And I remember Brandy and Andy went to the Atlanta one, and they, like, you got like a tote bag with some exclusive merch. I heard
You
the
had to pay
drinks were
extra for that. I didn't get the tote bag.
Brandy got me the tote bag, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is so cool. And I remember her saying that the drinks, even though they were pricey, they were strong as shit.
They were really good. And it like, so after you went through the whole experience part that was like an interactive like show, then you got to go out into this like area where there was food and a bar and different like shops and an arcade and
was
like
this where there's a photo of you in a phone booth?
yeah.
Oh, that was there. Okay.
Yeah. And like they had the Stranger Things logo neon in the middle that people took pictures in front of. They had like an arcade. But yeah, the drinks were really good, and we didn't eat the food there. But they had a Scoops Ahoy, and they had like
cool.
a booth that you could sit in and take pictures and stuff. We had gone to dinner beforehand and ate like really good Mexican food, so we were like so full.
You're
still.
like, we're not going to eat this peasant food.
Yeah, and I was like, I could either have a couple drinks or I could have an ice cream sundae. I'm going to go for the drinks.
I mean, that seems like kind of a fun place to catch a buzz at anyways.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. And you could like hang out in that area like however long you wanted. Like you had
'Cause
to
that was,
come at
like-
a certain time for your experience to
Oh,
go in.
okay.
But then once you were done with like the whole thing that you walked through, then you could just hang out in the area, that like outside area, until you wanted to leave. So
See,
yeah.
that's cool because, like, you can take photo ops, you can browse the store and stuff.
Yeah.
I heard there were little Easter eggs and stuff. And I remember, like, I was supposed to go visit Melissa and Brandon in Chicago. I was really, like, I was telling everyone, I was like, I'm really just going for the experience. I'm a piece of shit. I might have had too many White Claws, and I was supposed to order my plane ticket. That's why I never order plane tickets. And I had, like, 2 White Claws. I don't know, it was the middle of the day. And I ended up buying for fucking Ohio. And I like went, here, proof of my, ticket, screenshot, Melissa. And she was like, Stacey, what you doing in Ohio? And I'm like, fuck my life. So I had to jump through some fucking hoops for that. And I feel like maybe it was the universe telling me, no, we can't have Stacey go because she'll never leave and end up getting arrested. Because it was like 3 days before
you'd be
I
like,
said
I
to
live
go.
here now. Like when
This
you move,
is my home
when
now.
you move the Stranger Things experience to the next city, I'll just like be inside of it as you move it.
Yep, literally, I'm laying on the buyer's like couch, and I just remember like being so pumped about wanting to go. Melissa ended up getting COVID, and I couldn't be too much of a sore spot or it. But I remember watching everyone go and just how cool it looked. Like I live for exclusive shit like that, and just I love that with even COVID, when they did the drive-in, they tried to make it work. And I'm like, it'd be nice if they did something like that again. I don't know how popular it would be, but you said you had a really fun time doing it.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, it was the peak of my like Stranger Things obsession too, because it was like the fall of 2022, right after I had like gotten really into it. So yeah, it was great. But I mean, I think it would still be fun, like now, even if I like went again.
I want to recreate, you know how I always quote that scene in Adventures of Babysitting where the homeless guy is banging on the phone booth, "Get out of my house." I would have done that with you, and I know you would have been like, "Stacey, I've never seen this movie. This is stupid." And I'm like, "No, for the gram."
Yeah. I mean, if they bring it back to a city that's like close for us to go to, I feel like I would definitely
be like Dallas,
back.
Texas, and I'm like, put my cowboy hat on. I'm like, let's go, y'all.
That's where the Netflix house is, in Dallas, where they have the Stranger Things thing.
Son of a whore.
Like, I'm going to talk, like I talked about how I went to the Netflix house today in Philly, but the immersive experiences that they have at the Netflix house in Philly are for like One Piece and Wednesday, but at the Netflix house in Dallas, they have an immersive experience for Stranger Things.
Man, so everything's bigger in Texas, y'all.
Yeah, so I would love to check that out sometime, but I'll talk about what I did at the Netflix house in a little bit. But before we get into that, there's a couple other things that have happened event-wise, and the next one in 2022, which I mean was around the same time as the Stranger Things experiences were happening, was the fact that actually I didn't even know this because season 4 was like after I watched season 4 was when I got like really into Stranger Things. But when it was coming out, I didn't realize that volume 2 was shown in theaters like for the finale, like live. So wasn't that like 4th of July weekend?
Yes, summer? It was. It was July 1st. And I just remember, like, unfortunately, I think Cinemark and some other theater chains were doing it. It was smaller than what they did with 5. But I remember, unfortunately, there were none around me and stuff. But they said it was really cool. Like, much like how they would do that stuff for Stranger Things Day, they showed, I believe, the piggyback, which is the length of a movie. And I think would be so cool to see on the big screen in theaters, which I'm like, just imagine witnessing that on the big screen.
Well, I did. But not for the very first time. I saw it when they re-released it in theaters for Stranger Things Day later that year.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't see it.
Stacey, it's actually fucking awesome. You snooze, you lose.
It was pretty cool. When I originally watched the finale of season 4, I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I remember it was 4th of July weekend because there was literally like fireworks like happening outside.
Oh, and God.
Also like a thunderstorm like around the time when I was like watching volume 2. So it was just like I felt like I was having an immersive experience at my house.
I was going to say, you probably felt like you were in the fucking Upside Down.
Yeah, because it was like explosions outside as I was watching it. But
it was God crying because they killed off Eddie.
Yeah, later that year, in November for Stranger Things Day, they put volume 2 back in the theaters. And that was a cool experience too. I mean, I just went up to Philly, I think, to a movie theater near there where they were showing it because there was none closer to me. And it was pretty cool to see it on the big screen for sure.
Lucky.
Also, we've talked a lot about this previously on the podcast, but another big event has been the Broadway play.
That I fucking missed.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, it's not going anywhere. Like, it's still there.
Because it started in London, and now it's on Broadway, and there's like whispers of coming to streaming, maybe potentially.
It would be cool if it would tour too, like go around to different cities. But it's been in New York now for a whole year, and they're basically starting to like kind of change out the cast. Like a lot of times, like people don't stay in Broadway shows for more than like a year.
Didn't
So-
Jamie make an appearance like the week that 5 premiered or some
Yeah,
shit?
but literally just for like one scene at the very end. Like he didn't like actually play the character for the whole.
He's like,
show.
I'm a child. I'm a
Yeah.
teenager.
Yeah.
Fine. And you said effects wise and stuff, even though that was kind of like opening, and they were kind of working out the kinks, you said it's very immersive, very jaw dropping and intense.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just a fun time because we got to see it with like a bunch of our friends. So that
And you
was
saw
why
the
it was such
Duffers.
a bummer that you weren't there and the Duffer brothers were there and I spoke to them on the escalator.
Megan, so smooth.
Yeah. So that was a very big event.
So, speaking of events that Stacey, did not attend.
Yeah, the whole
only
back
one-
half of this list was things that I got to
I'm
do.
like, well, that's cool, Megan. You're like, actually, it was great. So there was a showing in the heart of Boston, and if anybody's seen me drive, including my little Steve Harrington keychain, they know that wasn't an option. So I told Megan, I said, you are going to be reporting in the field at Skull Rock Broadcast, and you went to Netflix Netflix house to see the premiere of Tales of 85. Now tell me about your experience.
It was great. So the Netflix house in general is just very cool. It's very like visually, aesthetically pleasing. There's a bunch of different like photo ops all around for different shows, Stranger Things. There's a lot of Bridgerton stuff right now. I think some of it is like permanent and some of it is stuff that they can kind of switch out.
Yeah.
When you go in from the outside, there's like 2 levels. The bottom level is like the theaters. So there's like the areas where the immersive experiences are that you have to have tickets for, and then there's like a movie theater, and that's where they showed the episodes today. But
That's
then
cool.
also upstairs is the gift shop and the restaurant, and then if you go in the bottom level from the mall side, because it's like attached to a big mall, the King of Prussia Mall in Philadelphia, they have like the buyer's couch, like
Love
a photo
that.
op, which again is I wonder if that's something that they'll switch out at some point or if it will always be the couch. Like,
Could you imagine like a replica of the Squawk Station and like as an obstacle course you can climb up the fucking tower?
they should make
I wouldn't
that.
make it. Netflix, hope you're listening.
But we shopped a little bit. I've got this shirt that I'm wearing right now, which is a cool Eddie Munson.
Honoring the late Eddie Munson.
Yeah, and it's very like retro, and like I was saying to Tracy and Jalen because they were there, like sometimes like Hellfire stuff isn't really like my vibe, but like I
Mhm.
feel like this shirt looks like a vintage concert tee.
It's
Like,
super cute. Yeah.
I was really into it. But they had a bunch of cool stuff in the gift shop, including the Lego Creel house that I was like so tempted to buy.
One day.
And
One day.
as well as a life-size plush Demogorgon that my immediate reaction upon walking into the gift shop was to go up and hug.
Somebody's like, is somebody watching her? You're like, hello, old friend. It's Fernando from season 5.
Yeah. And then we had lunch and the food was really good.
Was the food named after shit that's on Netflix?
Yes, but there was
I love
not
a gimmick.
there was not really any Stranger Things food other than the desserts.
Okay, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I had my drink was a Hunting Wives themed drink. It was like a spicy
Goodbye.
margarita. It was really
Bye.
good.
That's
I
why
was-
she was hugging the Demogorgon.
I did that before I had a drink.
Sure.
I did it as soon as I saw the Demogorgon, and that was before we went to lunch. But I had like a grilled cheese and tomato soup, which I don't really know what that. I think it might have been Virgin River themed.
What the fuck?
Because it's like a tavern or something.
There's no rhyme or reason to this shit. Okay.
I should have taken pictures of the menu, like to show you like the different themes of the stuff. Like I was thinking about getting this drink called the Morticia that was like almost like a Bloody
Ooh.
Mary. Like,
Ooh.
but the spicy margarita was really good. It was like smoky and spicy. And then I got some tater tots, but I don't know if they had a theme. I think that they were just tater tots.
Bye. Yeah.
And then I had to get, I didn't tell you this yet, a USS Butterscotch. And it was
So
like
envious.
so good. Oh my gosh.
I was going to say something really inappropriate about if I was a man, what physical reaction that would give me. But I'm going to hold back because I am a lady.
And Jalen and Brandy had Scoops Ahoy milkshakes. So
What flavor?
Brandy got strawberry and Jalen had vanilla. So I was kind of jealous of their milkshakes. So then I had to get a...
I would have been such a pig. I would have ordered both. And then I would have had to find a bathroom immediately and knock over Fernando accidentally.
But yeah, so that was like the most food I've eaten in one setting like all week. Like it was
Fuck
bad.
yeah.
Maybe all month, but it was really good. And I was like, I don't know if I'm coming back here. I've got to get dessert. Like,
I mean, hello.
and I mean, I've had the Scoops Ahoy ice cream in the containers from
Mhm.
Walmart, but I've never had like Scoops Ahoy like at like any of these like pop up events or anything.
Oh, I
like
bet
that.
it hits
So,
differently too.
yeah, because it was the ice cream and it had this like this butterscotch like sauce stuff at the bottom, and then it had like whipped cream on top and like pieces of like waffle cone stuck in there. So
Oh.
good. Stacey's like, this is like porn.
I know. I'm like getting all sweaty. Like, oh my God, I don't know where to look.
But we
Well,
also
ooh.
we did some photo ops and we sat on the couch and then we played the mini golf. So they have like a top 9 is what it's called, and it's so like 9-hole mini golf, and it was
That
really
was a
fun.
part in Netflix.
That's at Netflix House, yeah.
Could you imagine it's Squid Game themed? They're like,
Well,
if
there
you
was
don't make
one.
it in.
There was
Oh my God.
So there was different themes for every hole at the
Hole.
mini golf course. So like the first
Love
one,
that.
I think the first one was Bridgerton. Oh, one was Is It Cake? And you had to like look at the screen and it asked you, is it cake? And then if you thought it was there was like a yes path or a no path. And actually, let me tell you, this was such fancy mini golf because
I was
what
gonna
you
say.
did, you did not have to keep track of your score on like a little piece of paper. You went in and there was a machine where you named your team, which Jalen said we should be the Skull Rock team, so we were the Skull Rockers.
Represent. Good girl.
Then you typed your name in, and when you typed your name in, it's like preparing the ball for Megan, and it pops the ball out.
I'd be like, how do they know our name? They're like, you typed it in
You
there.
just typed it in.
Idiot.
So then you keep your ball, and all the balls were white. They weren't different colors, but like it when you put your ball down, it knows that it's your ball.
It's
and
your ball.
The screen comes up, and it's like Megan's turn, and then you get different points for different things in these. Like, I would want to play it again now that I sort of understand
Wow.
all of the rules of this, because like with the Is It Cake, if you hit it through the yes side or the no side, it knew which side you hit it through, and then if you got it right that it was cake or not, you got like extra points.
Holy I would not get the extra points. I'd be like, it's definitely cake.
I didn't think it was cake, but then I'm gonna blame it on everybody else. They were like, yeah, it's cake, it's shiny, and I was like, okay,
Shiny.
I'll hit it through the yes side, and they were like, no, it wasn't cake. But then like the Squid Game one, like it's the
You're
thing
held
where
at gunpoint.
you technically weren't supposed, like it was like red light, green light, and you
Oh,
weren't
it's the most. Woo!
you
Yeah.
weren't supposed to hit it when it was a red light. It took points
I'd
away.
instantly be out. Yep.
Yeah, like so there was like little things that you weren't supposed to do while there was a red light, and you were supposed to wait until it was a green light to hit your ball.
This
But-
sounds so cool.
It was really fun, and it was kind of hard to like figure out the rules all the time. Like, so I would.
It's
That's why I
almost
would want to
something
do
that'd
it
be
again.
a
Yeah.
second time around. I
Yeah.
got you.
Because I think
That's
I was.
so clever.
I think I ended up dead last.
I mean,
Even though I don't feel like I did that bad at the actual mini golf thing. And luckily there was like if you hit it more than 6 times, which I never had more than 6. I don't think I ever had more than 4, but if you hit it more than 6 times, it just gave you 6. Like,
well, we know who would be getting 6s if they had attended. I'd be quoting Caddyshack, and they'd be like, "Stacy, you haven't left the first hole. Get your shit together."
also there was no Happy Gilmore hole, but
Nor
apparently-
should there. Oh yeah, there was a sequel recently.
yeah,
Mhm.
apparently if you chose to, you could use the Happy Gilmore putter, which was like a hockey stick, but I didn't understand the reference because I've never seen it.
You never see. Well, it was one of his finer films. It's no Wedding Singer or Billy Madison, but it's up there.
Big Daddy, I like Big Daddy.
I love ham and tuna fish. I said earlier that me and Megan go together like ham and tuna fish. I always think of that, of the cook up on the stand. He goes, they go together like ham and tuna fish. Would you rather spaghetti and meatball?
Anyway, so the mini golf was really fun. So yeah, that was Netflix House.
Since we're probably going to be discussing it once, I watch it and we, see more of it and stuff, and we're running low on time, but give me just kind of like your first initial thoughts on the first 2 episodes. What was your overall feelings about it?
Okay, so I'm eating my words because I have been giving this show a really hard time and telling Stacy to please make me not have to watch it. But I liked it a lot.
She's going to get a tattoo from it.
Beautiful
Really?
animation. Yeah, and I feel like the trailers do not do it justice, and maybe it was like seeing it on the big screen, like it was very cool to see it on the big screen, like because the colors just really popped, but like I feel like all those trailers that I've seen, it doesn't look
Didn't
that
do it justice.
great. And maybe
Yeah.
it's the format of like the phone, like once you're seeing like the
Yeah.
whole picture and like how pretty the background is and how beautiful the colors are, just like in every single moment it's on the screen. It's visually.
Megan was violently high actually watching this. You sound like you're on goddamn acid. But continue.
I think it would be probably pretty fun to watch on acid, but
Oh, that's for
But,
the
like,
Patreon.
but I don't know, it was just very visually appealing, and certain voice actors were I think you could more immediately feel like it was that character, but all of them are doing a fantastic job, and I feel like by like the end of the first episode you sort of settled into like knowing
Okay.
that was their voice. Like it wasn't really taking you out of it too much to like imagine that was like Mike's voice or Elle's voice. I feel like Max was really good, Dustin was really good.
And this takes
and-
place winter after season 2.
Yeah, so it's between
Okay.
season 2 and season 3. I feel like I'm not trying to like tie it into like the rest of the storyline. I'm feeling
Yeah.
like it's just like it's cool to just enjoy it as this like standalone thing.
Yeah, it's almost
I-
like extra gravy. Like,
Yes. And
Yeah.
like it's a cool vibe because it's like a snow day type situation. Like there's a
Oh, I
big
love that.
snowstorm. Like
mhm.
and so there's a lot of like with the monster and stuff, like there's like a lot to do with like the snow.
Oh, cool.
And there's actually like a winter carnival. Like so it was like
Shut
when
up.
we were talking about like the summer fun fair and stuff. And I just feel like it's very cozy. Like
Oh, I love that.
yeah, so and then there's like different characters. So like this is spoiling a little bit, but like by the time this comes out, I feel like by the time this comes out, it'll be out. When does it come out?
Next week, the 23rd or the 24th. Well, guys, if you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen.
Yeah, I mean, but I think around the time this episode comes out, it'll be out. So yeah, like it's not a big spoiler, but like there's some characters like the little kid, the little kid on the farm who is dressed up like a cowboy.
The one that I said they should make a Funko thing of.
Yes,
like, you're
like
dead, and he
him.
pops up.
He's in it. Like, so like
Guys, I'm psychic, I
little
swear.
details like that are
That fans are going to appreciate.
Yes.
I love that. That just melted my heart. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You did.
So I think it was nostalgic and cozy and like very visually appealing. The story is fun. Like I'm not like taking it too seriously and like
I feel
trying
like that's
to
what
tie
you gotta
it in.
do.
Yeah. Like we were talking about like it's sort of like the comic books, like it's
Okay,
like
yeah.
an extra story. Like were we talking about that with Cinco? Maybe I can't remember, but like it's just an extra story that doesn't really have to like fit
Doesn't have to be exactly canon or fit in. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, but it gives you it gives me the Stranger Things vibes that I think season 5 was missing.
That were slightly missing. And yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I know a lot of people, their initial reaction to the trailer was, this is going to be horse shit. This is just a cash grab, blah, 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 blah. There's characters we've never heard of. And I said, you know what? We as fans are so spoiled that, first of all, think of all these experiences and cool events and pop-up things and stuff all over the world that fans have been able to go to and experience, all these cool themed events. We have a Broadway play. We've been able to see episodes in the theater, And I remember thinking the finale of season 5, like, just the overall seasons felt off and looked off. It looked great on the big screen. It was meant to be seen on the big screen. And this, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take too seriously. It's a silly little cartoon featuring some of my comfort characters. I'm going to go into it with an open mind and just, have fun with it. And it's just, like I said, it's almost like it's an extra scoop of, USS Butterscotch. Because
Exactly.
It's just, a lot of us were underwhelmed, and I think the whole reason why people believed in the crazy conformity gate was nobody's ever going to be truly happy when something this big ends. But I feel like a lot of people, they're underwhelmed. And so soon after, we're awarded a spin-off TV series,
that I think is actually pretty well done. And like,
Ooh,
I'm
excited.
not someone... I don't want to like get your hopes up too much because I think it helped that I was going in with zero hopes.
Yeah, that's what I should have done
and
with
just
season
got
5.
to like be pleasantly surprised by it. But like, there's a certain like, I feel like there's a different humor and a different like a slightly different sense of humor.
Is it a little more aimed to kids?
A little
Gotcha.
bit. There is, because it's like the vibe of like a cartoon,
Scooby-Doo.
like an animated series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so you have a different style of like humor in a
and
show
I like
that.
they're doing that too, because like the 1980s were so known for their animated cartoons that this is kind of almost like an homage to it.
Yeah. But there's also pretty cool things like with the fighting and stuff like that you can do that aren't necessarily realistic to do in live action that they're able to do in the animation too.
It's
so
limitless. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's another kind of way to think about it. Like, I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm excited for everybody else to watch it. And like, I was almost like, wait, shit, like we need to put off talking about season 5 because I want to talk about this. Like, I want to do a couple episodes about it.
That's what I'm thinking too. And I'm, lucky because I'm going to have my guest over and stuff when we can watch it together. But I'm going to tell everybody, like, first of all, you need to let Stacey watch the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rachel got to see it yet. Probably not. But I'm going to go into it with low expectations. But I'm one of those people like, whatever happened to fun? Like, even if you
just
think.
Literally curl up on the couch with some snacks and it's going to be a good time. Like, it's a good time.
Rachel, you hear that? We're going to eat donuts and watch from 85.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
which would be 40 years ago.
I'm
No,
so
41.
excited to watch the rest of it.
I know. I'm just
and
like,
it's,
you know,
giving me
more content, more fun stuff to talk about with you, which I'm excited because once we start the, deep dives of season 5, it's going to be like a Jerry Springer episode. So I like that this is going to be something cozy and almost like new characters, new creatures, new adventures that are going to be explored. And like you said, we don't have the limitations of an actual live action. Like, they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know? I love that.
Yeah. And I don't want to like keep going too much, but like all the locations like that you get to see, it's almost like you're like visiting an old friend.
Oh my God. Between that and describing the desserts, I'm just like, I'm being wooed.
Yeah. So I'm excited for you to see it. I'm excited to watch the rest of it, and I'm excited to talk about it. So that's fun. Well, this was a super fun episode. I'm glad that you thought of this, and it tied in perfectly with me getting to talk about what I did today. So
I'm telling you, I'm not just a cute face. Like every once in a while, killer themed episode, and I'm glad we were able to kind of do a look back, and some of us had attended these events, some of us hadn't, so it's really cool, and I am excited for this new spinoff and stuff because I have been missing our Stranger Things content.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting a little long, but I think we did want to do a merch segment, and we have like a few things merch wise that sort of tie in to like all of the events that have happened. And I think that like some of it kind of like came up organically. We were talking about the popcorn bucket from like the drive-in thing and things like that. But I'll start, I guess.
Yes.
So for the merch at like the events that I've attended, Stranger Things Experience had a lot that you could buy. The different screenings of like the stuff that I saw in the movie theater, they didn't really have merch at those. The play also had a limited amount of merch. I was very like the fact that they had a cat as part of their merch like disturbed me like a lot. Because of something that happens with the cat in the play. So
I wonder what.
Fuck the Duffer Brothers and their killing cats. But anyway, I'm not like a big merch person. So like I have not really like spent a lot of money. I didn't buy anything at the play. I didn't buy anything at the Stranger Things Experience. But
Loser.
Today at the Netflix house, I did buy this shirt that I'm wearing. So
and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, and I'm a clothes person, like you know that. Like I have like a lot of the sweatshirts and stuff, like from Beyond Epic. Like
her stuff is amazing.
I like stuff that I can wear, but like I like things because it feels useful. Like it feels like
that was the first thing I noticed when we logged on. I right away looked and I went, "Is that a new shirt?" And you're like, "Oh, I got it today." And I'm like, "I'm so happy that you got a souvenir and it's honoring Eddie." And like you said, Hellfire, I agree, not really, the style and stuff. I mean, I still have a Netflix white Hellfire t-shirt and I've worn it maybe for 2 photos and it's just like put away because I know somehow magically ketchup will get on it. But I remember getting that Eddie Munson, you and I both have matching ones from Beyond Epic. They are the coziest sweatshirts and I just love that it's like that, almost like that acid washed like grayish black.
And that's what this is a little bit too. Like it's not like a flat black. It's like a little bit of an acid wash, which is part of the reason I liked it.
Well, I love that. So 80s.
Yeah, for sure. But what else have been like cool merch stuff at some of these events?
Which I will definitely try to take a photo later this week showing some of these items together. But Shane was cool enough when he went for the season 4 house. There was an exclusive Halloween Horrors Night water bottle in the shape of Eddie's guitar. Adorable. And Brandy got me an exclusive drinking glass, which I can only imagine having to pack that. But I think hers actually recently broke, which I'm like, there's nothing more devastating than that happening.
Yeah.
But it had like, Max lifting up and Eddie playing the guitar. It just has so many cool visuals from season 4. And I know I'm always on the look for it, but it won't even pop up on Macari. They had Surfer Boy pizza gummies. You know me with my food shit. I've looked high and low even on eBay. Gone. Fucking they wiped it from the planet. Probably was giving people diarrhea. But usually, like, even though at, Halloween Horror Nights, their merch is a little more expensive, I like that they did tie-in things depending on the seasons. Speaking of actually Beyond Epic, I remember you got something really adorable that weekend at the con.
Apparently I love stuffed Demogorgons. I have like a little
You do?
like plushy Demogorgon that I got that weekend too. So I don't
Does
know.
he have a sailor hat?
I might need that life-size one. I just want to like
Fernando is
hug.
waiting. Yeah, he's waiting for you to come pick him up.
Yeah, I
You're
think
like, hello, friend.
Emma had like, it was like you could design your own basically. So you got the plushie, but then you got like a little shirt for it to wear, and you had like a couple to pick from, and then you got like a little accessory for it. Like it was so cute.
I love that. Love that. I know that I have a popcorn bucket. I don't know if it's from the drive-thru or the actual experience, but my buddy gave it to me. He must have attended the event. He was like, "Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So I've had it since, and it looks really cool because the artwork, it looks like one of the original posters. So it's got Papa on it. So if I ever meet Matthew, I almost said Matthew Brenner. Yep, Matthew Modine again. I'm gonna be like, "Sorry, my
Bremer.
Bremer, shut your pie hole right now and fill it up with a USS Butterscotch."
There's a pie connection in the new show.
Pie, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I do love a good pie. Of course, like we said, there was really cool merchandise, at the pop-up stores and the experiences. I got my Steve, PTSD keychain where he's like, "Oh my God, this girl does so many illegal U-turns." Of course, for Scoops Ahoy, you'd get the magnets, the T-shirt, the buttons, but you could get that Funko Pop of him holding the USS Butterscotch. And they also did exclusive ones at like Comic-Con and stuff of Steve, which I got in a trade, and everybody hates that it's out of the box. Him without his hat on. And the very first Steve Funko was, I think, a 2017 Comic-Con exclusive. Not as rare as the Scoops one, but you could get these exclusive Funkos depending on events and screenings, which is cool. And just Fernando. I think they're going to be like, "That's $5,000." And I'm like,
Yeah.
You know what? Charge it. She deserves it. And it literally is on your front yard. And then you're like, he's going to get cold. I need to bring him in.
It's very cute. All right. Any more merch that you wanted to talk about other than like this stuff?
The last thing, actually, so I heard that the Kinder Bueno eggs are hitting the U.S. They, Rachel, actually, I guess, saw them at her Target. They always hit the West Coast first. I went to my Target today, and they were like, "Yeah, we have them." And I fucking booked it to the registers. It was all fucking Mario shit. And I'm like, that's Mario and Luigi. And like, they probably, were like, "Watch this one. She's crazy." But I don't know. I love like the whole blind bag thing and stuff. And also like that chocolate's delicious. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. So very excited. And of course, we want to shout out the Fandom Cult. Look no further for one-of-a-kind, really cool merchandise. Megan, you're going to be getting your T-shirts any day now. You have a whole Stacy package, possibly with me and Fernando waiting inside the box. But people, definitely check them out there on Instagram. And if you would like to use a coupon code, definitely DM us and we will give you the deets.
Yeah. I have to send you some stuff too. I found some things that I bought for you in Pittsburgh at the bottom of my purse today. So...
I can't wait.
We'll just like never send it, and it'll just be like
we'll keep talking about it. That'll be the gimmick, Yeah. It's on the list.
But this was a super fun episode today. I hope everyone enjoyed listening. So that's pretty much it. If you want more, come hang out with us on social media at Skull Rock Broadcast on Instagram. I'm at Steady Stories and Stacey is at Stay Still Reviews. I also promise that I'm going to have some new stuff up on Patreon very soon.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so just you can hang out with us there to support the show, but then also access bonus content, and we'd appreciate it. So until next time,
Do
that's
it
pretty
for
much
Fernando.
I just keep, every time you say Fernando, I hear like the song playing.
Yep. Well, guys, until next time, over and out.
Over and out.
Eddie, I'm not sure I love the idea of you driving.
Oh, I'm starting to suffer. Harrington's got her. Don't you, big boy?
I think it's too long to do a secret segment. Brie?
Juan's gonna be mad.
You know what? Fuck it. I can do it quick.
Yeah, just do it quick. Like, you don't need to, like,
Yeah, I'm not
give
going to
us
go into
every
I can do that.
gory little detail.
All right.
We're back.
We're back.
We're gonna do this quick. Stacey's not gonna give us every single detail of what
Shut
she's
your
been reading.
Fucking whore mouth. I am done with her. The sass guys. Go watch Knight's Tale. Jackwagon.
This is our secret segment. Shh, it's secret. It's where we talk about fan fiction. It's late, guys. It's late. We gotta get through this.
We're fading. Yeah.
But if you don't know what the secret segment is and you just are joining us for the first time, we talk about fan fiction. Steve Harrington, fucking Eddie Munson. If
Hell
that's
yeah.
not for you,
Fucking
please-
just dogging it out.
please turn this off and don't judge us, okay? It's fine. Catch us next
fine.
week.
Yeah. Catch you later.
Fan fiction is really fun. Actually, I haven't gotten very far into it, but I did start a fic and I will report back
Ooh.
next week about it.
Color me
I'm
intrigued.
pretty excited. But yeah,
You know
you've
what?
read a couple things this week.
I think maybe next week too, what I'll do is I'll like find some of my real fucking twisted, fucked up shit, and I'll just do like, the classic top 10 list. And you'll be like, well, we're no longer doing this podcast, you sick fuck. You said the word merman way too many times. But no, right now, guys, I am reading several stories, of course. I need to send you this link. I'm going to do it right now.
I
No,
know.
I'm not.
Every week she's like, I'm going
guys-
to do it right now.
Guys, it's on the list, just like sending her shit out in the mail. Beneath the Empty Sky by Emmy Award. Very, very sweet. There was a really fucking hot one called Bros Helping Bros. And
that sounds hot. The title's
guys,
just hot.
Whoever wrote it, like just the description of Eddie's POV look, because like him and like Steve decide to just, pleasure themselves side by side. And he looks over and it just goes into graphic detail about what he's wearing or not wearing to, little splatter of the splash zone going on him and, noises.
Okay, you weren't supposed to be telling every detail. Okay.
Guys, it's so goddamn hot. Oh my God. It's just like, it's like a Renaissance painting. I could just like the description of that man. Oh, what a man, what a man. Like, you know me, I'm going to be sick and twisted and want to fuck his cartoon character. Maybe cut that out. You know what? Fuck it. Don't. All right. So also there's one that's called Everyone Wants a Rock Star Until They've Got One by Nailbats.
I'm intrigued by this
and
title.
Electric_guitars. And I just started it and it actually looks pretty promising with our fellas, if you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. So definitely reading ahoy, and I'll come up with some real sick twisted shit and let you know if Bros Helping Bros, has the big old finish, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Hashtag Splash Zone.
Sounds good. You enjoy
Splash
that.
Zone. Splash Zone.
I'm not reacting.
Nope, she's not. She's done with me, guys. But You know, I'm ready for fucking bed, guys. I'm ready to have my own Stranger Things experience, which is sounded weird. That sounded fucking weird. I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep watching it, but that sounded like I was gonna do something horrible. Oh my god, guys, I'm sorry. Jesus.
We need to cut it now.
Yeah, no. All right, peace. Bye.
Peace out.